come back with me.
What are you talking about, Mike? What are you doing here?
Back to the future.
You mean our apartment?
Basically, yeah.
All right.
Well?
Well, what?
The line, man, the line.
Hey, Mike, you better back it up. You don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Dude, what the hell? This is my old apartment. I thought we were going to our new place.
Technically, this is our new place. It's 300 feet to the right. And 1 year into the future from when you moved in.
All right, but it's still 2013, right?
Yes, it is.
So we didn't miss C3?
Oh, hell no. We're not going to miss that.
Okay, good. All right. Shall we?
What? Is that it?
Yes, that's it. What do you mean?
I just gave you a ride home in minus 5 seconds, and that's it.
Okay, well, did you want to, like, do another video with me or something?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, how about the top 5 time travel games?
Awesome.
Cool.
Sounds good to me, roomies.
God damn it.
Hello, and welcome to Gameplay First.
Don't you start too. Hey everyone, welcome to Gameplay First, where fun is second to none. My name's Tyler, and these are my roommates.
Hello.
Hey there.
This week, my new roommate, Time Cruiser Mike, and I will be taking a look at the top 5 time travel games. Why top 5? Well, because there aren't that many of them, really.
Well, there are, but just not that fit into our criteria. The games on this list use time travel in an interesting and original manner that affect gameplay.
Right, so games that use time travel as a framing device for the story rather than a gameplay element would be considered honorable mentions. And with that, here's our first honorable mention. This was easily one of the best games to ever grace the PS1. It's fun, it's challenging, and it even has its moments of comedy.
Maybe I should retire to a nice big beach with a nice big drink and a woman with nice big bags of ice for my head.
It's essentially just Crash Bandicoot 2 reskinned with a time travel theme and a few new features and powers. I mean, don't get me wrong, a fruit bazooka is freaking awesome. But this isn't a time travel game in the sense of what we're looking for. And as much as I hate to say it, neither is our second honorable mention. Back to the Future the game. This is a game that managed to perfectly capture the essence and spirit of the films it was based on. It's clever, it's funny, it's well written, and Telltale clearly put a lot of love and effort into this game.
But despite all of that, the time travel is used as a framing device for the plot, not the gameplay, of a top-notch adventure game. And although we both highly recommend it, it's not on the official list. Okay, now that we've talked about what isn't on the list, let's talk about what is on the list, and start with number 5, which seems like it would make sense.
Well, that's only if you view time in a strictly linear sense as a straight line. Time is really actually more like
wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. We know. Thank you, Doctor.
Sonic CD. The first time I ever played this was at Epcot Center in 1996. I was about 13.
Wow, in 96, I was 8.
Come on, man. I'm reminiscing here. Stop making me feel old. Anyway, this was the first time I had ever seen this brand new Sonic game, and I practically begged my parents to go do something else while I played and subsequently fell in love with this game. It's part of my gamer's DNA and somewhat of a foundation of my childhood, even if I had to buy it for the PC because I didn't have a Sega CD at the time. But I do now.
But we do now.
Yeah, I've hooked up all my consoles out in the living room, so yeah.
Sweet mother of Mario, I've died and gone to heaven! I warned you about him.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
hell, is that the Atari 7800? Mac, you magnificent bastard, I love you! No homo! This game uses time travel in a way that, while fun and affects the outcome of the game, I found a bit too confusing to really take advantage of on my first playthrough. I had no idea how what I was doing affected the game, so I just ran through the level like any other Sonic game. Once I actually learned what the purpose of the game was, I went back and explored, but it's not well explained in-game. Even so, it's a solid entry in the Sonic series, and one that deserves to be remembered as a great time travel game, and the first appearance of Metal Sonic.
And Amy Rose.
I'd prefer not to remember her at all. I'm sure Sonic wouldn't either.
Sam & Max Season 2 Beyond Time and Space. It's the standard Sam & Max adventure formula, but with a time travel twist.
A time travel glaze, if you will.
It's not a donut, little buddy.
Well, if it were, I'd eat the donut and rub the time travel glaze all over my face.
I'm sure you would. While only 2 of the 5 episodes actually have the characters traveling through time, some of their time travel antics spill over into the other episodes. For instance, you can trade items with your other self from other time periods.
I had that happen once. Remember my Back to the Future review?
Yeah, I do. You got the shirt wrong.
Dude, I just spent all of my Kickstarter money on the set and on a new camera.
Didn't even button it up properly.
Now, what are you gonna do? Call the continuity police? Again? Ratchet & Clank Future, A Crack in Time. In my opinion, the best entry in the Ratchet & Clank series so far, and one of my favorite games of all time. The whole game doesn't use time travel, but the bits with Clank and the Great Clock do. The time recording and playback puzzles are really fun and challenging, and I love that Clank has been upgraded from a backpack-mounted toaster robot to a certifiable time-guarding badass toaster robot.
So, even with the Chronoceptor and his time control powers,
He's still basically a toaster robot. Well, technically, actually...
Spoilers.
Okay, fair enough. Let's just say he's a time-controlling toaster robot and leave it at that. But he's not just a time-controlling toaster robot.
Clank's pretty great backstory aside, the time control puzzles are fun, and I love the idea of a giant clock in the almost direct center of the universe that keeps time flowing properly. This is a great game with some great time control mechanics and a ton of fun. If you have a PS3, I'd highly recommend the Ratchet & Clank Future Trilogy. The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. Despite being the source of some creepy-ass imagery, Majora's Mask is a solid time travel game. Putting all of the bits with the masks aside for a moment, just the time travel mechanics alone are pretty fun, despite being somewhat infuriating when you've almost completed a dungeon and must go back in time to keep the moon from getting a bit too intimate with Termina.
In spite of that, it's pretty impressive that despite being built from the same engine as Mario 64 and Ocarina, this game is able to do all of these things. Granted, it's not a huge scope of time, but it's nonetheless technically impressive and fun to be able to basically play a video game adaptation of Groundhog Day with Bill Murray replaced by Link. And who would have thought that the Song of Time would turn out to be I've Got You Babe?
Kinda had a feeling.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Nah, you're right. I thought it was Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News.
Well, that I could see.
Basically, Majora's Mask is a fun time travel game that you can play again and again and again.
Not that you have a choice. Braid. On and on about how great this game is, then rewind time and talk about how great it is again. Talk about how great it is again. Talk about how great it is again. Again. What?
Between the beautiful impressionist art style, the wonderful music, and the infuriatingly debatable story,
I still say it's an allegory for the atomic bomb.
we are so not doing this right now. The time control mechanic for solving puzzles is absolutely amazing. You can rewind time, you can fast forward time, you can completely pause time, and all to collect puzzle pieces, find exit doors, defeat legally distinct Goombas, and not figure out a story about an atomic bomb.
That's what it is. That's what it's about. It's a metaphor.
Look, we'll discuss this later.
Fine. Basically, Braid is a beautiful game with some of the most robust time control mechanics I've ever seen in a game, and in an indie title no less. I don't know if we'll ever see more of Tim and his adventures to rescue the princess, but Braid itself gives you enough content, enough beauty, and enough mind-bending challenge to be the most robust time travel game I have ever played.
So, those are some damn fine games, but what about Prince of Persia: Sands of Time?
Okay, well that was a great game, but the problem with Sands of Time is that it only lets you really rewind time. And although it's a great game both technically and gameplay-wise, it really doesn't beat out some of the other games on the list.
Okay, and Blink's the Time Sweeper?
Did you play that?
I never had an original Xbox.
Oh, me neither, and Microsoft didn't bother making it backward compatible, so there you go.
What about Mario?
I'm sorry, Eugene, is this your list?
Dude, your name's Eugene?
Well, excuse me.
otter teeth.
Hey, you know what? That's a fine handle. Don't let him talk to you like that.
Oh, don't worry, I won't. For gameplay first, this is Tyler.
And Mike.
And Eugene Horstick Retro.
Signing off. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go teach Eugene why it's a bad idea to mess with otters. Come here, you son of a bitch. I think we need to have a little discussion.
I should probably do
Stop!
something.
Stop it! What the hell are you doing? Stop it! Knock it off! Not cool, dude. Not cool. What the hell?